A police officer stabbed in the face at a metro station in Washington, D.C. Now, it happened as Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy was on his way to that very station. He was going to that station to talk about transit safety. Secretary Duffy joins me now. It's ironic, isn't it, that you were on the way to that station to talk about transit safety. Take us through the full story. What happened?
Yeah, first off, Stuart, great to see you. It's been way too long. You're looking handsome as ever. Good to be with you. Yeah, listen, I was going to go talk about transit safety. I was about to walk down into the tunnel, and I was stopped by law enforcement to say, listen, there's been a stabbing. Later, I find out it was a police officer stabbed in the face. When I spoke, when our team spoke to him, he said, listen, I'm stabbed, I'm bit, I'm beaten down in the subway. But here's the thing, Stuart, it's important to note that at least the Washington, D.C. subway, they're trying to actually reduce crime. They're actually trying to fight it. They're trying to keep those repeat offenders out of the system to keep travelers safe. Other systems in the country aren't making that same effort. Where you sit right now in New York, it doesn't seem like they have the same kind of drive. But again, we have subway systems. We invest, billions of dollars to make sure riders can get to and from work safely and in a clean environment. And it seems like a lot of cities have lost that focus. Washington, D.C. is trying to bring that back. But what I saw yesterday would indicate, listen, we have a long way to go to get to that place of safety.
Yeah, you should come up to New York sometime. Mr. Secretary.
Oh, I've been there.
I know you have. You just terminated a grant for a high-speed rail project in Texas. I believe you saved taxpayers $63 million. All good. Mr. Secretary, what about the California bullet train? You're going to scrap federal funding for that? Because that's a boondoggle and a half.
So first off, I love high-speed rail. We don't have one in America. And by the way, we saved what was at the start $60 million in this Texas project. It would have been $10 to $20 billion of taxpayer money. But the private sector has come in now and said they want to build the project, right? So private sector money is what should make these investments. But what you're talking about in California, it was supposed to go from LA to San Francisco. They're 17 years into the project. They've spent about $16 billion. And Stuart, there's not one track that's been laid for this project. So we're under review right now. In the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to come out with our findings. And if, again, what many people have reported on is true, we're going to pull the funding for this boondoggle endeavor. People have gotten rich, Stuart. Yep. A lot of people have bought land and have sold that to the project, made a lot of money. Again, it's really hard to spend $16 billion. They've done it and have delivered nothing for it. So let's try to find projects in America where we can build high-speed rail, but do it efficiently and bring in the private sector to make those investments, not the taxpayer.
I was intrigued to read about you announced a $150 million federal grant to build a new high-tech port of entry in San Diego. That's an awful lot of money for a port of entry from Mexico to the United States. Is this new port of entry just designed to speed up legitimate border crossings? Is that what it's all about?
It is. So we can analyze the expansion of trucks and cars that come across that border, keep commerce flowing. It's important, right? We want to make sure that people come in and out of the country legally. They're not, bringing in drugs or explosives. But what's key here is in this project, this dates back to 2022. So it's been 3 years in the works. The money never went out. We've been here less than 100 days. We signed the agreement, start the money flowing. Let's build the project. Not only that, they put charging stations into this project, Stuart. We pulled those charging stations out. And what we've done across the grants that we give, I'm not doing green. I'm not doing social justice. We're building infrastructure. The last administration wanted all these green and social justice requirements that drive up the cost of projects. We've said no more. We're doing roads, bridges, this infrastructure at the southern border. But enough of the side projects. Make the investments, spend the taxpayer money well. Enough of the green, enough of the social justice. And so I think we're going to get more for the taxpayer money because we're focused the cash on infrastructure, not on social policy or Democrat liberal policy.
I believe that the shortage of air traffic controllers is still a big problem. What are you doing about it?
It is. So, again, this is a longer-term problem, Stuart. And not only do you train up an air traffic controller over, 3-4 months in the academy, they have to get into towers. It takes 1 year to 3 years to train them up. There's been some bottlenecks in the system. We train about 2,000 air traffic controllers every year. We need to up that to 2,700. That's the first problem. But the second problem is we have too many controllers that retire after 25 years of service. And so we have to look and go, is this a national security issue? Is this a safety issue? And should these air traffic controllers be retiring? after 25 years of service? Should we have another calculation that happens because of the national security component of our airspace? That's something that we're looking at with the administration, because again, the only way you actually can build these numbers if you add 2,000 people into the system and you don't have 2,000 people who leave the system. That's the only way the numbers work. So it's going to be a broader conversation, but we're going to focus on it. And again, air travel is the safest mode of transportation in the country. You can't travel anywhere safer than on an airplane. A lot of news coverage about crashes now, but again, we're working our hearts out to make sure everything is safe. More air traffic controllers, and we have a better air traffic control system, new investments. And again, it's going to take us time to undo what wasn't done over the last 4 years, Stuart.
Mr. Secretary, Sean Duffy, great to see you again. Do not be a stranger. There's a place for you on this
Stuart,
program, sir. See you later.
Handsome.
Thank you, sir.